Thank you for giving me this opportunity to present something about this journey I have been going through the last couple of weeks. As Björn said, I will share a little bit of my experience and what I have learned during this past 5.5 weeks. So first a little bit about myself. I'm a SharePoint consultant at eOffice, a Microsoft-based Microsoft Gold partner. A little bit about my background. I'm a Microsoft Certified System Administrator on Windows Server 2003, and I have my Microsoft Certified Technical Specialist on both SharePoint Services and Microsoft Office SharePoint Server. So just a little bit of background. How did it all start? Perhaps you know this book, this picture. 2 years ago, I read this article on SharePointMagazine.com from Björn, and I really liked that article, and because of that article I began to follow Björn on his blogs and also on his USP journals. And when the idea came across that he was going to set up some kind of academy, I was very enthusiastic about it. So when it became reality for Björn, I went to my manager at the office and asked him to participate in this, and he was okay with it. So the motives for this course for me, and I choose the SharePoint Development Beginners course. What does SharePoint Development mean exactly? And which skills do you need to become a SharePoint developer? And the most important question, can I become a SharePoint developer? As you can see from my background, I'm more an IT pro, power user, end user guy, and during the years I've been working now as a consultant, I find out that out-of-the-box SharePoint is good, but in most cases customers want more than out-of-the-box. And I had very little experience in what happened on the background, underneath the hood of SharePoint. So I started diving into that, and this course was really for me, can I become more of a SharePoint development guy? So a little bit of my thoughts, what I've learned the last couple of weeks. Well, as I said before this course, I never ever did some programming. I never used Visual Studio or Reflector. I never did any SharePoint development. It was all very new for me. Just to recap what I've did the last couple of weeks, I've built a console application. I created custom application pages, custom site columns, custom content types, list definitions, list instances based on this list definition, features, custom actions, a lot of new things, and I'm very proud of it that I accomplished that also. So a real learning experience, and all this without any C# or programming knowledge. Just to explain to the people who are new and not familiar with the course, our course consists of an individual assignment. Every week we have to make an individual assignment. Next to this, our team were also divided into teams, and we had to accomplish a team assignment that's due at the end of this week. This team assignment consists of building a SharePoint solution for a fictive business problem, and the purpose is that everybody participates in that and do some part of the development. Next to the individual tasks and the team assignment, we also had some discussion questions every week, and that's an example for a discussion question is, what are the benefits and disadvantages of web parts versus regular page development? And those questions were very interesting for me, because I was forced to think about sort of these things, and for me I had to do a lot of research on the internet, Google, even asked colleagues of mine questions on the forum with the team members, and to get so good quality answers, I needed really a lot of time to find it, and I will get back on that later. Some of those things actually help me to improve my solution, which for my individual tasks, improve my solution and making better choices of when are you going to choose this kind of approach in SharePoint. And you know, very positive. I'm very positive about these questions things. The time spent on this class is also something interesting. Before the class started, Björn already said that you should reserve about 3 hours a day for studying. That's about 20 hours a week. I needed that time. I spent most of the time, about 20 to 25, sometimes 30 hours a week for accomplishing all the tasks and the questions and the assignments. So next to a full-time job, that's quite intensive. But because it also gave me a lot of energy, I'm very positive about it. Yeah, it was very good for me. So next to all the SharePoint stuff we also did a lot of ASP.NET development, and that has cost me a lot of headaches. As I've said, I'm not a developer, and when you're all of a sudden really diving deep into some development, it's really difficult learning what classes and themes and objects and all those stuff are. So despite the fact that I didn't understand everything I was doing because of the internet and a lot of the journals Björn has made and was referring to those, I was able to accomplish some of those things. Not all, but most of the things I managed to do. But it gave me a real good insight in what SharePoint development means. I understand much more now what a great, powerful application platform SharePoint is, and I have much more insight now into how to add or change things in SharePoint with just a little bit of magic in the background with Visual Studio. So also my focus for customers, if they have a business problem, I can much more understand now how it is going to be developed in SharePoint, or even if it's possible in SharePoint. So I have a very better understanding in what can be done. One of the main highlights for me during this course was in the individual assignment was building the web part. This week we had an assignment that we had to build a web part based on the content of an application page. One of the first things we had to do was building an application page, and now we had to accomplish this by setting up a web part, and that was reading that application page. First of all, I built the whole application page into an ASPX and the code behind. And then one of the discussion questions was about user controls versus custom controls and versus pages. And then I suddenly realized the power of using user controls and how to add them into a web part. So this week I completely rebuilt my solution and divided it into a user control, a code behind, and an ASPX file. And then after getting that to work again, I started working on the web part, and suddenly it worked. Well, maybe you can imagine the feeling you have when you have your first diploma or whatever. I just really had a hallelujah moment when I just made that to work. So I felt like on top of the world. It was very cool. I'm now in the finishing stage of this course. Our team assignment has to be sent over at the end of this week. So coming back to one of the questions, one of the motors I had, can I become a SharePoint developer? Yes, I think so. Perhaps in the future I can, but I definitely have to work more on my development skills, my programming skills. I realize now that SharePoint development is much more than just building features, solutions, and site definitions, and you name it. It's also a lot of ASP.NET, C#, learning the fundamentals of programming, and that's something I lack very much currently. But what I've got to know this week, the last couple of weeks, yeah, I'm very enthusiastic about it, and I think also that I can do it if I have the time to learn more and more, and also if you just do it. And that's one of the things I just did the last couple of weeks. Just try to build it, learning, try again, try and error, and if it fails, it fails. But every step you take, it's a learning process, and that's what I really enjoyed this last weeks. So that's a little bit I wanted to share with you.
Excellent.
So